There are many forms of eating disorders, all unhealthy for the body, which we all know. But what about when we think we're being healthy? With the rise of clean eating, veganism, and this new obsession with fitness, is there such thing as being too healthy? I'm Bria, an 18-year-old living in this looks-obsessed world. Like many other people my age, I have insecurities.
So it's the morning of meeting a girl named Annabelle. She has suffered with orthorexia in the past and I'm really interested in meeting her. I really want to hear what she has to say, her experiences and some advice that she has to give. So I'm really excited to meet her.
I'm Annabelle, I'm 19, about to turn 20, and I'm an actress and model. On my 16th birthday, I was actually poorly and I had glandular fever. So kind of quite organically, for the few weeks after that, I lost a lot of weight very quickly because that's what happens when you have glandular fever and you can't eat and you can't drink properly. And I kind of noticed a distinct change in myself quite quickly. And as anyone who's lost weight, even a tiny bit of weight knows, when that starts to happen, it's like, oh, that's, that was quite good. And that went on for about a year of being healthy with it. And then probably by the time I was 17, I was becoming a little bit addicted to the idea of, clean eating and exercising and healthy eating. And then it kind of just spiraled for a year after that. By the time I had started to lose weight, the big thing for me was people commenting and being like, oh my God, what are you doing? You look great. And it's like, that's lovely. Say that again. I'll keep doing that. I want that. And then as I got healthier and I became more aware of the kind of healthy eating world and the movement and all of that, that's what then became addictive. So then on Instagram, and you follow them all, and if you've had a bad day where you've eaten, a burger for example, and then on Instagram you see someone's eating their kale salad with their smoothie, and it's like, why did I do that to myself? I should be like that. And that then becomes addictive, seeing what they're doing.
My whole life revolves around people that either look perfect or are eating perfect food.
I would wake up ready for school, and I'd wake up about 7:30. And I would either go for a run or I'd do spin in my bedroom on an exercise bike. And then I'd have a shower, I'd go to sixth form, and I would probably have a mint tea. That was probably it, treat myself. By the time it got to lunchtime, I'd pretty much hide, because when it got to lunchtime, people had started to notice, Annabelle doesn't go for lunch anymore. This is when people were starting to work out that something wasn't right. And then when I'd get home from school, I'd get straight on with my gym kit, I'd go for a run, come back, make myself dinner and insist on making myself dinner, and I would always have a chicken breast with peppers and kale. That was all I would eat every day, vegetables and chicken. By the time it got really bad, I got really good at lying to everybody. I had all these plates in the air. I had lunch at school, I had a jacket potato, I could tell somebody exactly what I'd had to eat, and then I could, drag it out for 2 days without eating something. And then after my run, before I went to bed, I'd always do floor exercises before I got into bed, and I'd have to do so many before I would let myself go to bed. Totally took over my life. I remember, this is towards the end when it was getting really bad, I was driving home with my mum from school, and on the left there was a restaurant and like a pubby type thing. And my mum said, daddy's out, whatever, why don't we go and have supper together? And just her suggesting that was the most anxiety-inducing thing, because I was thinking, I've got to have my chicken and veg, I've got to go for a run, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And I remember having a huge argument with my mum about it in the car, and her saying, this is taking over all of our lives, this has become so, you're not you anymore, you are this illness. The whole time I was doing it, I knew what I was doing to my body. There was no point where I was deluding myself into thinking what I was doing was healthy. I knew I had an obsession, I knew I was treating my body unhealthily, and I knew I was pushing myself too much, but I couldn't stop myself from doing it, and that was awful, to know that I could see what was happening, but I couldn't stop it. One day, I'd been to London to see a friend, and I came back and I was going to my friend's 18th birthday party that night, and my mum would always take a picture of me before I went out to my friend's 18th, lots of mums like to do that. And I remember being stood, and I can remember the exact moment, she took a picture of me and she suddenly got this look on her face, like she looked a little taken aback, and I didn't think anything of it. And as I was walking out the front door, I threw up literally in the lavender, because my body was and I literally almost collapsed, and they had to take me upstairs to my bedroom. And weeks later, and then that was kind of the beginning of, my mum came into me with my dad, and they were like, we can't do this anymore, you're killing yourself. If you want to kill yourself, there's nothing else we can do, because you're destroying yourself and all of us. And we had a huge argument, and then a few weeks later, when I was kind of trying to talk it through with people, my mum showed me the picture, and I was sunken, and it was all from my eyes. I just did not look like me, and it wasn't that I was frail and tiny, but I just looked so lifeless, like there was nobody there, and seeing that picture was a huge wake-up call for me because I'd never really seen myself like that before. Basically, I kind of always knew there was something not right, and people had said to me, I think you have an eating disorder, but I didn't fit into anorexia, I didn't fit into bulimia, I wasn't a binger. To me, it had started off purely by being healthy. And I was reading an article one day, I think it was in Marie Claire Vogue, something like that, and they were talking about orthorexia, and I had this like light bulb moment, and I was like, that's me. Getting to kind of talk to people about it, and because there's a lack of understanding about what orthorexia is, it was difficult because most young people, to some extent, have an obsession with being healthy, kale, you know, the brand protein world, all of that stuff. A lot of us, to some extent, want to work out to look good for the summer, and we want to choose healthy food, and we want to eat sushi, and it's stylish to be healthy now. And so for me, trying to explain to people that, trying to see the difference between it being stylish and it being massively destructive to a young person's life is dangerous, because lots of my friends who were just healthy, they didn't have orthorexia, so what made me different? And it's because something in me had seen it and had perceived it and had taken it on in a very different way, and it became an addiction. For the whole time, it's a myth that when people have an eating disorder, they don't know what they're doing to themselves. I would say most of us know exactly what's going on. Most people with an eating disorder, whatever kind of eating disorder, have an obsession with food. I love to cook. I could sit and look at cookbooks to this day, all day, with no desire of eating it, and just enjoying, spending time with food almost and staring at it. And I think that for anybody that starts to feel like their life is being governed by, I can only eat this, or I have to go to the gym to do this, or I have to do this, even if you get any inkling that that's how you're starting to feel, you just need to take a step back and either talk to somebody or just kind of look at yourself and remember that you need to be taking care of yourself, because once you're in the clutches of it, it's very hard to escape.
Meeting Annabelle was such a great experience. I learnt so much from her. I learnt that it's so easy to slip into orthorexia. I feel like I understand it more, and she gave such great advice.